Some small business owners say if the Occupy movement got their way, they would actually hurt the very 99% claim they want to help. Gene Marks is the owner and president of the Marks Group, a tech consulting firm, columnist for the New York Times and the Huffington Post. So as a small businessman, why do you see Occupy's message as a threat?
Well, yeah, I can give you one specific example. I mean, we're talking right now. I'm in downtown Philadelphia, and when I leave this interview, I'm going to grab a bite to eat. The Occupy guys are to my left. I'm going to go to my right to stay very far away from them. And, you know, I feel bad for the small businesses that are all around the very area where they are. To begin with, just the people in physical proximity, their businesses are definitely being hurt. But I'll tell you another reason. I mean, the Occupy Wall Street people are going after some big institutions, and I do sympathize with some of their feelings. But Citibank, you know, American Express, I mean, we rely on them. The small business community uses Citibank, American Express, a lot of financial institutions to process our payments. It's upsetting to see them go after the 260,000 employees of Citibank when those people are doing nothing but doing their jobs and proud to be doing their jobs and supporting me and my business and providing customer service. They're not the evil big corporations that I think sometimes they're portrayed to be. Yeah, and I find that frustrating.
But you're not, I assume you're not completely ignoring the practices of packaging, for instance, MBS in a way where the deck is in fact stacked and which has resulted in big fines being paid to the SEC, things like that?
I agree, and I can tell you something, you know, there's no doubt that some of the senior executives have prices to pay. But when I see, you know, senior executives doing things within a bank or a financial institution, that's between the bank and the government. The government can deal with that. And when I hear that people are protesting about the high executive pay that people are getting, well, you know, that's between the shareholders and the bank. I would be very upset if somebody was protesting what I'm being paid in my company. That's my company, and that's between me and my shareholders.
We know where new jobs come from in this country. It's small business, right? So do you feel like the banks have given you access to capital in ways that you deserve, and especially given the hordes of cash they've amounted over time?
Simon, I got to tell you right now, there is plenty of capital out there to lend, and I know that for a fact because I interview a lot of bankers. The problem is that we're in a 1% growth economy, and because the economy is growing as slow as it is, guys like me are not asking for the money. We're not expanding. We're not buying other businesses. We're not hiring more employees. It's slow. So I'm actually not too concerned about getting the financing that I need. I don't think the bankers are holding the money back on us. I just think that we're really not making the demand for it because the economy is not making it very easy for us to do.
So where do you think Occupy should go? Do you think it's all about maintaining a presence in Washington? Is that where the problem is?
I can tell you what, as a small business owner, we'd like to say, right? You know, business guys like concrete stuff. When we go into negotiations, it's pretty black and white. We know what we're asking for. You know, I'm a little bit too young to remember the Vietnam protests, but I do know that when people were protesting the Vietnam War, they were asking to end the war. And when they were protesting civil rights, they were looking for civil rights legislation. So as a small business owner, I say to the Occupy Wall Street people, what do you need to stop occupying Wall Street? What are your specific demands? And that's just something we haven't really heard. And for small business guys, you know, like myself, we kind of scratch our heads and say, okay, well, what are these guys asking in a negotiation?
Yeah. Right. We've had Michael Moore on a few weeks ago. It's good to get your point of view too, Gene. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. The European close is straight ahead.
Coming up, bells ringing throughout Europe. The markets are about to close, and we'll have all the details when Squawk in the Street returns. This CNBC program is sponsored by UPS. Let UPS put the power of logistics to work for you.
When your chain of supply goes from here to Shanghai, that's logistics. Ships from here, boards from there, track it all through the air, that's logistics. Clearing